It has been super rainy and windy at our house the last couple of weeks, and so it's that time of year where we're all ready for a good healthy batch of some hearty flavorful soup. This recipe I'm making for you today is called Zuppa Toscana, and I like this recipe because it uses a lot of staples that we already have on hand in our pantry and still growing in the garden over the winter months. The other thing about this recipe is there's a lot of things that you can substitute if you don't have those items on hand. So for example, today's recipe calls for either kale or Swiss chard. I have Swiss chard, so that's what I'm using, but if you have kale, you could use that too. You could also even use spinach, but that's going to give you just a little bit more of a bitter flavor. If you don't like any of those, you can totally leave it out, and that's okay. Today's recipe also calls for potatoes. If you want a healthier option, you can also substitute cauliflower. We do process and make our own chicken broth at our house, so that's why you'll see these couple of containers here. If you don't have your own chicken broth, you can substitute it for vegetable broth. You can substitute it for 2 cans of chicken broth. Those are options that you can utilize. For me today, I'll be using 2 containers, and that's why it looks weird, because we've made our own and we store it in the freezer until we need to use it. So let's get started. Place your 1/2 pound of chopped bacon into a cold pan and turn on to medium heat. Render this bacon and cook it slowly until all of the edges become slightly crispy. Be careful not to burn your bacon. Once you have golden brown crispy edges on your bacon, transfer it to a separate plate lined with paper towels so that the grease can drain. Remove the oil left behind from the bacon so that you can use the same pan to then complete the same process with the Italian sausage. On medium heat, add your 1 pound of ground Italian sausage, breaking it up into small pieces and cooking it until it's browned through. Go ahead and prepare your potatoes and onions while your sausage is browning. Cut your potatoes in half lengthwise and then in 1/4 inch slices. Once your sausage has browned through, transfer it to a plate lined with paper towels to collect the grease. Switch your saute pan for a large stock pot that can accommodate approximately 8 cups of fluid. Add to that 1 tablespoon of olive oil and your chopped onions. Cook over medium heat until they become just translucent. Once your onions have softened but not browned, add 2 cloves of chopped or pressed garlic, Once that's fragrant, about 30 seconds later, add your potatoes and your water. Give that a good stir. And last, add your chicken broth. Increase your heat to high, bring to a boil. Once the broth is boiling, reduce the heat to low, cover, and simmer for 30 minutes. Once your broth has simmered for 30 minutes, add your ground Italian sausage and your rendered bacon. Let simmer another 10 minutes. After 10 minutes has passed, taste your soup and salt and pepper to taste. You could even add red pepper flake if you like to have a little spice. Stir that in to incorporate. Then add your 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. And your Swiss chard or kale. Again, stir to incorporate, warm through, and enjoy.